here at IDX Broker. I'm the project manager. I also help the developers get started with the Developer Partner Program, and I'm also responsible for supporting developers after they have become a partner developer of ours. So I'm going to start off on the IDX Broker Developers Network page. Now, this is a page that exists on our website at idxbroker.com. You can see the URL. I'll go ahead and copy and paste this into our chat utility. So within this, you have various requirements, and there are certain things that we expect of you as a partner developer. So before we go on to all the benefits, I do want to sort of cover and iterate all of the items that we expect from you as a partner developer. So the first thing is that you must bundle services with IDX. You cannot sell IDX as a standalone product. This means that you cannot find clients that already have websites and just refer our solution. You have to have a website that you're packaging or some form of CRM and website that you're packaging with the IDX solution. So you do have to create a website for the client and then integrate our solution into it. Now that brings up the second aspect of this. You cannot use or you should not use iframe tags to integrate our solution. Essentially, okay, so Scott, you can't quite hear me here. Let's see if I can give you a little more audio. Is this at all better? Hopefully this is better. So, okay. Hey, Scott. All right, excellent. Well, I'm going to go ahead and move on here. So the second aspect of that is, yes, it is recorded, Scott. I should have this sent out to all of you at the end of the webinar. So just to let you guys know, getting back on track here, you should not use iframe tags to integrate our solution. You must maintain minimum HTML and CSS competency. I would even take this a step further. I think that you guys should be extremely comfortable with HTML and CSS as web developers. We do expect you to integrate our IDX solution into the website. That means that you're using our wrapper system, and you're not putting the IDX content into what's called an iframe tag. So you want to make sure that you're using the wrapper system and you're appropriately integrating it to the featured links that we provide or through the various widgets, which are code snippets that you can copy and paste into the website. You must refer a minimum of 5 websites in order to receive a commission check. So to let you know, you don't get an immediate payback when you start this program. Your first referral is not going to equal a payback. We do waive the setup fee from your first referral on, but you do not receive a payback until you reach those first 5 accounts. And that starts off at a 25% monthly commission on those clients' monthly payments to us. So if you have 5 accounts, and those 5 accounts each are paying $40 a month, let's say they're all choosing the single user original license, you'd be receiving 25% of their total combined monthly payments to us. So each paying $40 a month, you'd be looking at roughly $200 a month between 5 accounts. 25% of that would equal $50 a month is what we would be paying you back when you reach that first 5. It isn't retroactive. It starts from the date that you become or that you reach those first 5 eligible accounts. The percentage goes up to 35% once you've reached 26, and then 50-plus accounts, it goes up to 45% payback. So the next item is you must take full responsibility for supporting your referrals. As an IDX developer, you can contact our support team, but your clients cannot. This is a very important aspect of the Developer Partner Program. This is why I wanted to take it a step further from maintaining minimum to HTML and CSS competency. We do expect you to be able to troubleshoot all display issues. Any issues that your client is having, they can contact you for first-tier support. They are not allowed to directly contact our support. If you have any issues that you cannot resolve that may be feed-related or even hard-coded into our IDX Broker web app, then you can contact our support team. If our support team cannot resolve the issue, it'll typically be escalated to what's called a ticket. The ticket is passed on to our programming team, and then they address any issues that need to be addressed. So we do have a ticketing system. We definitely attach you as a dev contact so that you're notified upon ticket completion. So those are a couple of different items. If you can't fulfill those tasks, or you don't feel like those are items that you feel comfortable taking on, we do have an affiliate program, and that can be addressed at a later date. You can always contact us after the webinar to find out about the affiliate program. We have additional information on that, including an entire page dedicated to it. So there's a $99 setup fee that's required to join the program. So it's a developer entry fee. In order to become a developer partner, we require a couple of different things from you, really. A W-9 form, first of all. We want that filled out. We also require 2 to 3 website examples. These website examples do not have to be real estate-specific website examples, but they should indicate your experience with web development. If you have WordPress websites, that's fine, as long as the theme is customized. We have no issue with that. We have a lot of WordPress developers that are very, very good and proficient with HTML and CSS. They just prefer the ease of access and application of a WordPress theme. But we do expect you to customize those WordPress themes. That means you do not sell them out of box. So the other item, after we've received those 2 to 3 website examples, a W-9 form, and then, of course, a credit card to pay for that developer entry fee, we process you as a partner developer. And the first item that you're going to receive is an email from me outlining all of the various items and assets that you get as a developer partner, and then also the sign-up process, what's entailed in terms of signing up, what happens after the sign-up with paperwork and approval, and then what happens after approval. So what I'm going to start off with are the actual logins and the various accounts that you gain access to. So these are assets, developer assets, that we assign to you once you become a developer partner. You have 2 sandboxes. Now the reason why you have 2 sandboxes is because we have 2 platforms. So just to point that out really quickly to you. We have Original and Platinum. Some of you guys may have already heard of these 2 different platforms already, but if you do want sort of an in-depth review or an in-depth comparison of the 2, we do have a pricing sheet that you can tab through to either platform to see the differences not only in the various features that are offered in each platform, but also the starting prices. Platinum is more expensive than Original, $20 more expensive. The reason why is it's considerably more robust. All of our development efforts will be moved towards that particular platform and not to Original, since it's our legacy software. And additionally, it will include various other options like mobile page redirects and map search widgets. Those are just a couple of items that separate it and really put it above and beyond our original product. Now, because there are 2 platforms, as I mentioned, we assigned you 2 demo accounts. So you get a demo account for our original platform, and you get a demo account for our Platinum platform. Now, it's really up to you which platform you choose to resell. We give you the ability to resell either platform. You have unique links or URLs that will have a dev code attached to it that will identify any referrals that you send our way, regardless of which platform you send it through. So with these demo accounts, you guys can attach this to any website that you have. You can demo, you can add any of the dummy data to those websites. And again, there's dummy data that runs through these demo accounts. When you attach these demo accounts to your website, you're more than welcome to use any of the various features. They're full-on accounts. They give you access to all of the features that you would gain through a retail account that has been approved. So the only difference is that it's dummy data that's populating the demo account. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like in just a second here. What I do want to show you first is the actual sign-up forms. Now, before we get to that, there's a developer application that is necessary for you to fill out before you become a developer partner. And there are a couple of different items. Basic contact information is what we're going to expect from you when you initially sign up as a developer partner. But there's also a couple of unique items on this sign-up form. The dev code is not really self-explanatory. It's not necessarily the most intuitive item, but it's a 5 to 10 character code that we expect you guys to create in order to give a unique identifying code to your developer account. This is how we identify your referrals. This is how we identify your sign-up forms. This is how we identify your account internally when we look at our own super user access to verify which clients have been assigned to your account and which ones haven't. So this is a very important code. It has to be something that you remember, first of all, because when you call in and you ask for us to troubleshoot something or you ask for us to find your partner account, you're going to want to have that developer code ready. Now, aside from that, it should also be something that's unique. It can identify your company, although I have a lot of people that seem to find it better just to put a 5-10 character code that they'll just remember, not necessarily something that identifies your company, because should you choose to change your company name, we will not be changing your developer code. So generally, if you get a developer code or you establish one, you're stuck with it for life. So keep that in mind. You do want to make sure that you choose one that you like, obviously. Additionally, we have a section here to upload logos. This is only really important for the V1 or the original sign-up form. There's not a place to actually upload marketing site for the original sign-up form to upload a logo. So we do allow co-branding on all of our sign-up forms, and I'll show you that in a second. And then there's the one-time setup fee that's mentioned there. There are terms of service, too, that you'll want to review before submitting the form. Okay, so that sort of entails that whole developer application. Now, once you become a developer, once I've sent you this email, you will receive the sign-up form. So we have a couple of different sign-up forms, or 2 different sign-up forms, one for each platform, as I mentioned. The first one is going to be our original sign-up form. Now, when you include a logo within the developer application, this is the logo that we use to co-brand the sign-up form. So we copy and paste that logo into the top left-hand corner of your sign-up form. As you scroll down, we have additional information. You can also see the setup fee that would normally apply on our normal sign-up forms. Is no longer there. So on our normal retail sign-ups, we have a $99 setup fee applied. On yours, there are no setup fee because you, as a developer partner, are expected to set up the account. So this is just for the original sign-up form. They will be identified by large blue text, IDX Broker Original Sign-up, or it'll say IDX Broker Platinum Sign-up. I'll show you that one in a second here. So one of the other very important items that I want to point out to you is going to be the partner admin section. Now, before we get into either of the 2 demos, just to kind of give you a preview of the back-end control panel that applies to actual IDX integration, I do want to show you our partner account. The partner account is very important for keeping track of our mutual clients, keeping track of eligibility dates, et cetera, and also for co-branding on those on the partner side sign-up form and also the partner side control panels. So when you sign in to your partner, here we go. So this section right here, we have Platinum Partner Account Login Credentials. There's a login link here. Your username and password will be assigned to you once we've created that for your account. When you log in, this is the very first thing you're going to see. You're going to see a home page, and you're going to see a dashboard. And on this dashboard, you have a couple of different items that you're going to notice. Last account notes, first of all. So if you have a large support team and many accounts, you're going to want to have all of the notes assigned to the various accounts so that support members are not stepping on each other's toes. This will allow you to review any of the last notes that popped up on any of the corresponding accounts. And I'll show you that section in a second here. Next is the client payback eligibility, another very important dashboard widget. Again, this is something that whoever is going to be the admin or the primary super user for the company is going to be able to review. You'll be able to see when the client was first billed or when the client was eligible on, when it becomes eligible. So the first build date happens or occurs. Once that happens, a month out from that build date, they become considered eligible for payback. So that's what this column stands for, eligible on. Additionally, you have the name and the ID for that particular customer. So moving on, we have API key control. This is without getting too into the technical aspect of API application, our new control panel, Platinum, has an API key. We work with API keys, so the API key essentially identifies an account. This API key allows you to tie this account to a WordPress plugin. So if you're using the WordPress plugin, you use this API key to first of all identify and bind that account to the WordPress control panel, and then additionally you use it once you've done that to pull all of the saved widgets for that corresponding client's account to the WordPress control panel to make them drag and droppable. Now, if you guys are going to be huge WordPress developers, it's going to be necessary that you have you keep track of this API key center. So this section, API key control, you have all of your clients listed here. All of their corresponding keys will be listed over to the right under the key column. So very important. If you want, you can generate a new key directly from here, or you can trash the key, revoke it. So if a client cancels, for example, you can revoke the key so it no longer works, even if they still have access to the WordPress control panel. So marketing side, you're going to have a couple of items here too. Now, again, the co-branding that I mentioned is going to be available not only on the sign-up form, but additionally on the middleware control panels for your clients. I'll show you that one secondarily. But if you have a URL or you want to upload the photo, this uploads it directly to the cloud. You can do that if you'd like. If you have one stored locally, it's completely fine. With the actual link, you can just link up to it, and then you can review your sign-up link by clicking on the sign-up link above. So it'll brand it in the top left-hand corner. This is the IDX Broker Platinum sign-up, not the original sign-up. And within this one, your logo will appear there. There's a recommended best fit pixel size as well, height and width. Now for the middleware co-branding, you upload this same principle. You can either upload the photo or direct it to a URL. And this is going to display within the control panel of your clients. So if you logged into a client's account, it'll display in the top left-hand corner to the right of the IDX logo. So that's marketing. Client is going to be the client search section. This is where you keep notes or review client statuses. You can check out approval for each MLS or for each client, whether or not paperwork has been sent, whether or not it's been received, and then, of course, finally, whether or not it's been approved. And then you can also check out billing statuses, so whether or not billing has been paused, whether or not the account is enabled. And then finally, on the far right, you can check how many traffic or how many hits they have within a calendar month. So this far right green light button indicates how many hits there are. Now, if you guys are sort of lenient or, I guess, laissez-faire type of developer, you can allow your clients to get into the IDX Broker Control Panel. I know some developers that would really prefer them not to go there, but if you do want to allow them in there, there is what's called credentials icon here, so you can actually send password and username to the client so that they can log into the control panel themselves. So you can send that directly by clicking on the little mail icon there, and it'll send to the primary email address on the account. Now, additionally, we have direct access to their search links or basic links that we can click on, and it will actually allow us to visit those pages directly. And we have contacts for each client. So any of the contacts that have been assigned to them, maybe you guys have account holders within your support team that you want to assign to a client, that's completely fine. And then finally, notes. And this was what I mentioned earlier. Last 5 notes will be pulled or fed through from account notes that you establish here. So if you add a note, you can choose to make it private or public. You can add the new note. You can add the private sub-note. These notes are obviously very important if you have lots of clients and lots of support team members. So back to client search. Now, probably the most important aspect to this partner control panel is the ability to log in directly to any client control panel and then log back out. So no longer do you have to remember the username or password. No longer do you actually have to keep track of all those items. all of your listings, all of your clients will be listed here within the client search section. You can automatically and directly log into a control panel from that section, and you can log out. And it'll log you right back out to that same partner client search. And then you can log into another client's control panel. So it works very easily and very quickly. You can easily make applications to IDX integration on one website, quickly log out and do it to another. So that's a very powerful item. It's not that way in original, so I do want to forewarn for those of you that plan to resell original, you do have to keep track of username and passwords. That's the only way to make sure that you have the login credentials to actually log in to make IDX changes. Now, your demo account is going to be listed here as well. Not only your client's account, but your sandbox account that I mentioned here at the top, or at the bottom here for Platinum, will be listed within the client search section as well. So you can log in there and you can make your own applications to your own website to demo for anybody who you think advertising that sort of functionality will encourage. So if I log into the client-side super user section, there are various aspects for application here. It gets really, really intensive in terms of how many items there are. It's a very robust solution. I'm not going to go through every aspect of this control panel because there's really simply too much. But I do encourage you when you become developer partners to really take a look at the demo account. Now, it's an extreme benefit to have all of these demo accounts because you're literally paying a one-time $99 fee. You become a developer partner and you gain lifetime access to the program. So even if you don't plan to immediately resell our solution, you have full-on access to the demo account anyways. You can educate yourself. You can go through the process of checking out page help, looking at the various related knowledge base articles, contacting our support just for the purposes of making sure that you're completely educated on the platform so that when you are ready to refer that first client, you know exactly what to do when you get started. So just to kind of quickly overview, your most important aspects or the most important pages that you're going to access are design pages. So this is all of the pages that are created automatically through our system. They're either generated through our system as page links, or you can actually create search pages. So if you create a search page, it will generate through the IDX side. And then you can, of course, customize these greatly from actually getting HTML code and creating your own custom static search form with option values to creating preferences for each of those, which range anywhere from SEO settings to lead registration settings. You can force and request the lead to sign up on any page after so many views. So you can actually determine the number of times a page is viewable before forced or requested page registration. Very, very powerful stuff. So all of this is accessible directly from this section. Additionally, if you want to individually wrap a page, make it really unique in terms of header, footer, and sidebar, or you want to affect front-end CSS for that specific page, you have the ability to do so directly from this pages section. Finally, you have a layout section where you can actually choose default templates that we've already created for you, and you can just activate them directly from the control panel. So all really powerful stuff. Finally, for the search pages, you can actually delete the ones that you don't choose to use. Of course, these only apply, this delete option only applies to the ones that you've actually created, not the ones that are auto-generated by our system. Now, there are a couple of other pages as well. There are default categories ranging from result pages to map search pages to full-on detail pages and contact pages. All important sections I recommend taking a look through. Again, I won't go in depth through that, but you have sort of the same options for affecting SEO and preferences on the non-dynamic generated pages, and then also reviewing the links for any of these pages as well. So now I'm going to go ahead to the next part, which is wrappers. This is a huge aspect of our IDX. Now, most of you who are familiar with IDX already know the difference between an iframe and a wrapper system. For those of you that don't, I definitely recommend reviewing the difference, and I actually have a great article that I can point you to here. I'll send it to you within the chat utility here. Okay, this explains the difference between the two fundamental types of integration. Wrappers are obviously going to be the better item. If you are planning on indexing thousands of pages, if you really want a seamless integration, you're going to need to use the wrapper system. The wrapper system is absolutely pertinent for that type of integration. Basically what it means is that we visit your website or you visit your website, you grab the HTML code and you split it into either a static header and footer, which wraps around the IDX content, or you create a dynamic link. So if you're creating a dynamic link, basically what you do is you create a page static side either through the WordPress control panel or through your HTML website editor. And then what you're doing is inserting what are called start and stop tags. So they're div tags that tell our system where to, IDX start, where to split and where to, so where to split the content, where to start splitting the content, and where to stop splitting the content. So generally this occurs around the content section or the content div tag within your HTML code. So if you do that, you create the static page, you put the start and stop tags into it. Whenever you make a change to that page, it'll automatically reflect on the IDX broker side. So that's where the dynamic URL is plopped in. Our system curls the HTML code from that static page. So when you make a change to navigation, it automatically tells the IDX pages to reflect those changes. So instead of taking a static snapshot and having to refresh that every time you make changes to the website, I would definitely recommend the dynamic aspect. Now, if we go into advanced application, you have various aspects that you can affect here. Now, global obviously applies to all IDX pages. Categories allows you to affect a specific category of page, whether it be full-on results or all search pages. Now, pages allows you to affect individual pages that you've created. So if you want to get really granular with page creation, like save links, let's say you create a save link, for example, maybe reflecting foreclosures, for example, and you want to put dynamic, relevant dynamic content within the sidebar and the footer, you would actually manage the save link wrapper. So you can actually create a full-on standard wrapper, either static or dynamic, for wrapping that page. And that means that everything around the content section can be 100% custom. So it can even look completely different than the global wrapper if you wanted it to, although I don't recommend it for the sake of keeping that seamless integration. So all of these items obviously are going to be important for customization. We have a custom CSS section and then subheaders, of course, which apply to all of the various pages and categories as well. Leads is another important aspect of integration. This is probably the last one I'm going to go over within the actual internal control panel. This is a huge selling point, obviously, for a lot of clients that are looking to use an IDX solution. You're not just looking to drive traffic, you're looking to capture traffic. This captured traffic aggregates here in a back-end control panel called lead management section. You can have all of their information directly accessible here. Now, each agent or each lead that comes into the system has various cursory information that shows up here when they first signed up, their name, their email address, whether or not they've verified through email verification. This will show all verified. If they've logged in, it will show verified for all clients if you set email verification to yes. So if you force verification, then they will not be able to log into their account until after they verified through the email they've provided. So this also tells you the last activity. If they've received any MLS updates, so our system will automatically send MLS updates that pertain or that are unique to the criteria that they've searched. That's, of course, very important if you're looking to nurture the lead after you've captured them. Then, of course, you can review each of their saved properties. I can review their saved searches. I can edit the lead, any of their contact information. So this is on a lead level. This means every single lead has a screen. And you have an unlimited number of leads. You can have an unlimited number of them. So you have saved searches. You have access to their saved properties. You have access to see any of the previous property updates that have been sent to them. And finally, you have granular traffic history per lead. So you can actually visit all of the pages that they've landed on, all of the pages that referred them to those pages. You even have access to their IP address and the date they landed on those pages. So it's very in-depth traffic analysis. Finally, notes. If you have agents, of course, that are dealing with leads, you'll want them to notate which leads they're dealing with, how they've contacted them, etc. There's contact routing as well that allows you to establish automatic contact routing for any office clients that you have. So if you have a client that has multiple agents, you may want to use a sort of round-robin or core field assignment that will automatically assign out leads based on either criteria or a random ascending or descending alphabetical order. And then there are the lead registration preferences, which just kind of reiterate sort of that page level registration. So you can either set simple items here where you're going conservative or custom or aggressive, and then I can be advanced here where I can actually go in and change or create my own sort of custom sign-up form. And then additionally, I have the email verification section for that I can either force for any client that or any lead that comes into the system if I want them to ensure that they're human and not a bot. All right, and that pretty much covers this control panel in depth. You gain a lot of access to these features as well within the IDX Broker Original Control Panel. Here's the original control panel. This is the second sandbox that you'll gain access to. So it's up here. Your login credentials will be listed here. Now, if I'm looking at this one, it looks pretty significantly different. It is in a lot of ways. There's a lot of parity between the two systems. Now, that means that there's an account management section, my preferences, like there was in the previous, and full-on customized section where you can apply category and page-level wrappers. It doesn't get quite as granular as Platinum in that Platinum allows you to actually apply wrappers to individual saved links, so predefined search result pages, where this system does not. Obviously, the control panel looks a little more dated. There's a full-on dashboard here, though. It's a very, very customizable solution, and you still have total lead management. Looks like it logged me out. And you have full-on lead management, of course, and lead registration preferences. So you can still force and request on certain pages within the detail pages. Again, not quite as granular as Platinum. We've offered definitely a lot more items for customization within Platinum, but it's still a very, very feature-rich control panel. So for those of your clients that are not looking for a really expensive solution like Platinum, which starts off at a base price of $59.99, I would consider referring them to our original platform, which is a very solid bulletproof platform. Rarely, if ever, has problems. And it starts off at $39.99 a month. There are a couple of limitations like the mobile page redirects. However, I have seen a couple of our clients actually build out fully responsive websites using the original control panel because the CSS is really that accessible and that flexible. And actually, I'll just go ahead and pull up that example now since it's so neat. Examples. Let's actually. And I'll send it to you guys so that you have the ability to access this link later on. So I'm including that in the chat utility as well. Fully responsive pages. This one was actually created from our original platform. So just because it hasn't been built for mobile doesn't mean it can't be turned into a mobile responsive website. So if you look at the actual IDX pages that have been wrapped, you'll see here they've used custom CSS to create a grid rows and columns format for the various listings. If I reduce the width of the browser, it stacks and will actually adjust the width of the individual property cells to fit within that. So it does work on any mobile device. You're more than welcome to test that out, obviously. All right, so that sort of covers the two platforms that you gain access to. There is no partner admin section in an original like there is in Platinum. That's an important distinction to make. We do have a section where we can actually manage you as a partner, and we can view all of your eligible clients, but you have to call in. So if you're concerned about whether or not you're getting credit for a specific client, you're going to have to keep track of the original clients. It's a much more manual type setup. It was created a lot longer ago than Platinum was, so we just didn't have have those types of features built out in our original platform. This means that we primarily keep track of your clients or our mutual clients through the original platform. So if you have any questions about it, again, you can call us or email us, and we'll go over them with you. So a significant, of course, advantage within IDX Broker Platinum is that you have the ability to directly access this from your control panel. And you can check all of those eligibility dates and so on. So you can actually track your own clients. And that sort of covers the two control panels. There's a sign-up process that occurs after you've signed up your client. There's going to be an MLS approval process. Our MLS coordinator will either contact you or your client, or both, depending on how you want that set up. And we'll send the appropriate paperwork for the MLS. If there is paperwork, once we get the paperwork back, we turn it into the MLS for review and approval. That's if there's paperwork. There are some auto-approval MLSs. We'll notify you either way. Once we've gotten approval, we ship the account to you. Credentials, meaning username and password. This gives you access to the account with the activated listing data in it. In Platinum, that partner control panel is pretty neat because a client will actually show up in your partner control panel before they've even been approved for the MLS. This means you can actually start making applications and start working with IDX integration before the MLS is even approved. So for those of you who really like to jump the gun, get started early, you can certainly do that. So the final note that I kind of want to leave on here is that it's not, this program is not for everybody. The IDX Broker Developer Program really requires quite a bit from you. You have to be competent with HTML and CSS. That is an absolute necessary item. We do expect you to troubleshoot primarily any items that come in directly from your clients or our mutual clients. They are not allowed, again, to contact our support directly. Only as a retail account are they allowed to contact our support directly. So once we waive that $99 setup fee for you and all of the clients that you refer to us, we do expect you to handle account setup and also account support. Again, if you have any issues, you're more than welcome to contact our support directly. We have a primary email address that we use to handle support for all of our developers called developers@idxbroker.com. I'm chatting that to you, or I'm chatting that to you right now, so you should have that in your chat utility as well. Additionally, I will be recording this. Just to reiterate, I will be sending out the recorded version of this, and for all of you that registered, you will receive this. Anybody who came in late, you will receive a recorded version of this entire webinar as well. So thanks for attending. I appreciate it. Have a nice day.